Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and others of great millstone who rule well. And shalom to sincere, hopeful, elect brothers and sisters listening and learning. And to you brothers preaching and teaching the truth through the four corners of the earth. This is brothers Nathan out of the GMS Indianapolis camp. Come back with a quick one through the spirit. This is from X, formerly known as Twitter. I had it saved it a couple days ago. It says, breaking President Trump and Kristi Noem are officially terminating the temporary protected status of Haitians, which we know the so-called Haitians are the tribe of Levi. Okay? Loya in the Paleo Hebrew. Alright? It says over 350,000 Haitians must leave the country by February 3rd or face deportation and a lifetime ban. This is great news for Americans in places like Springfield, Ohio. They can finally have their towns back. Now that TPS, that temporary protected status, usually immigrants from other countries get that because of their countries may have been war torn and they fled here. Disasters like earthquakes and natural disasters, great devastation, or and then they fled over here, so they get like I said, TPS, temporary protected status. So, but as you see, Esau Edom, so-called white man, is trying to bring white back, right? So, they're trying to blame everybody for taking advantage of the system, quote unquote, right? So, hey, but that's the thing, though, our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, want to trust in America, Babylon the Great, want to go down to Egypt for help, and this is the result. All right, and mind you, a lot of these people have been under that status since like 2010. Okay, so there's a lot of people that have been here for 15 years, 10 to 15 years, right? Depending on whatever, or less or more. Started lives over here, businesses, children over here. And now what? They got till February 3rd. They got a deadline to get up out of here, man. Or if they get caught, now it's a lifetime ban with, never opportunity to come in legally, right? But we all know that ain't gonna matter at the end all be all, because what, America Babylon the Great is gonna be destroyed via thermonuclear destruction. All right, concentrated lasers being from the chariots. All right, this place is gonna be a desert full of unclean beasts. Okay, uninhabitable. All right, so the Lord's gonna do away with this place like He did away with Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, but the thing is, see, y'all didn't want to trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. You wanted to trust in everything, your false gods and idols and your witchcraft. You want to trust in Esau, even the so-called white man, your oppressor, and this with the devil of the Bible. That's why Esau, even the so-called white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, it's Isaiah 30:1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh Shema Shai, that take counsel, but not of me." Right. So you've traveled over here, trying to live that America, go after the American dream, go to the land of opportunity. And what's happened when you got over here? Things have gotten worse and worse for you. All right. Yeah, you might have fled from Haiti, all right, which is it's jacked up over there. Okay. But guess what? It's bad over here too. All right, and ultimately what? You're under the curses. All right, and that's supposed to be a sign and a wonder But see, Jake want to do their own thing. All right. You want to take counsel of everything else. You thought, oh, if I could just get to America, then we're gonna live good and so y'all in that spirit of Esau. You know, you're gonna live from generation to generation. You know, and build something over here. No, you're building on something that's going to be destroyed. All right, and ultimately, you ain't come over here to learn about the truth, or no, you came to serve your own belly. Ultimately, you know, it says it says, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Right, because ultimately, when you're not serving Yahweh Shem Shai, you're not following His law, statute, commandments. You're not rehearsing His righteous acts. You go the way you want to go. You like Proverbs 3:5 says, "Lean not unto thine own understanding." Right? See, because when you start to lean unto your own understanding and do what you think is right instead of following Yahweh Shem Shai, you're subject to go off. All right, you're subject to sin. You know what is sin? 1 John 3:4 says what? For the sin is the transgression of the law, right? All right, and so you only know sin but by the law, right? So if you're not following His ways, all right, you're gonna go off, and that's why you continue not to prosper in your ways because what? You're not serving the Lord. Verse 2 it says that walk to go down into Egypt. Who's the modern day Egypt? All right, which Egypt just means house of bondage. All right, America, Babylon the Great. All right. Remember, this has been sold to the nations as the land of opportunity, beautiful paradise. But when you get in the system, you start working and you're doing things, and you figure out, hey man, the game is rigged. Okay, for a certain people, man. You know, not everybody gets to take part in the game, right? You got a lot of pawns in the game, and see this rat race here in America, where you lie, cheat, and steal to gain wealth on this side. All right, because that's what America pushes, man. Do whatever it takes to step on whoever to get to the top, right? But it's like it's a rigged system. All right, so here it is. You're fighting in an open world prison for carnal gains, for a nice house, for a better paying job. You know, you're getting all, trying to go after riches, but you guess what? Well, man, gain the whole world and lose his own soul, right? See, you're going after America's philosophies, all right? And you're showing Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, that's your God. You want to serve him. This is that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. We know the modern day Pharaoh is what? The president, right? It says, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Right, you're trusting in all this whole system. You're trusting in the military, the benefits that you can get here. Rather be like the food stamps, the educational help, cost to get an education, quote unquote. Even though the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. All right, but you're looking to prosper in a place that's doomed to fail. Now, there's nothing wrong with, bettering yourself or whatever, but what comes first? Serving Yahweh Shem Shai. All right? Everything else is secondary. So that's going to come, that's going to come with the Lord. The Lord, sets us up in, good positions to take care of ourselves and our families. So don't think, we're just made to be poor, which we are poor compared to these elites, man. All right, we make chump change, man. It says, Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Right. Because when this all starts falling down, which it is, it's starting to fall down, it's starting to crumble, right? At the foundation is getting ready to collapse. This whole system that these people trusted in, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans trusted in this place, and it's on its way out. All right, so just like, see, they're just looking to get rid of you, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans now, because they're pointing the finger saying y'all the ones to blame. Y'all sucking up all the resources and not doing half the work that needs to be done, even though we built this fucking country. But, hey, that's okay, because we're waiting on Yahweh Shimon Shai to lay vengeance for us, man, and destroy this fucking place. Okay? But this is going to be the confusion to the ones that came over here with all the hopes and dreams of building something here and doing X, Y, and Z and making this place their salvation. This ain't salvation, man. All right, salvation is us getting beamed up in them chariots, being made with the new bodies that won't go off. That's gonna have the law, statute, commandments in our inward parts downloaded into us, so that we never sin again and be perfect in the sight of Yahweh Shemel Shai. That's the true salvation. All right, not to be subject to sin, not to be in these chains of darkness, man. To be made perfect. All right, back as gods on the earth, man. All right, but Jake want to settle for a Happy Meal, basically. Defiled ass Happy Meal, man, with a punk ass cheap toy, right? So now, here it is. You put your heart and soul in this place, and now you're about to get the fucking boot. So now you gotta drive around. You're gonna have to be riding around because you know they ain't you gonna leave. It's like over 300,000 people, under that status that are from Haiti. Okay, and along with you, Northern Kingdom too. There's a lot of countries on there that lost their status, man. Shit, my wife's family, she's Zebulon, she's got a few people that are screwed up now because of that TPS deal. From other deals that hey, it's they're just stuck. They done built businesses. They done lived here, damn near almost their whole life, and now you're gonna be like a damn fugitive. Okay. So as soon as you get pulled over, it's a wrap. There ain't gonna be no, well, just slow it down next time or this and that. You might just be just going getting done working and making your honest living, and you get pulled over just because the police are you fit the bill. Like, oh no, you look just like, oh okay, and then you ain't serving your high by Shimon Shai either. You just subject to get destroyed out here, man, and get deported to a country where you have nothing established. But because you're from there, they're going to ship you back up and say, hey, these other countries that deal with it. But see, that's the result when you don't put Yahweh Shema Shai first. Because a lot of these jakes that are getting deported and are on the verge of getting deported heard the word, man. All right? See, we got to put that in perspective too, man. This word is going out. Whether, it be English and Spanish, Creole, whatever. Hey, the Lord making it a way for his word to go out. There ain't going to be no excuse in that day. And the day's approaching, man. All right? The days are drawing nigh to where Yahweh Shai is going to make his return. Okay? And it says, let's go to this is Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 17. It says, as for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help, In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. See? Because what? You trusted in Egypt. Like it says in Micah 2 and 10, it said, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. This ain't your rest, Jake. Always keep that in the mindset. This ain't it. We ain't lived yet. All right? Like I said, this is just an open world prison. You know, we're under the curses. All right? We're not looking for that corruptible crown. We're not looking for them corruptible riches on this side, man. All right? We want them pure riches. We want servants. We want slaves. We want, you know, we want to not have to work anymore. We want to enjoy the earth and the other planets, right? Like scripture say, in my house are many mansions, and nothing impossible for you. How about Shemal Shah? You know, and he's just asking us for him to believe on him, and how do we show our belief? By our works, because like Apostle Paul said, what faith without works is what? Dead. So we show them why we believe. That's why we do these electronic epistles. That's why we call on Yahweh Bashim Shai, which that's the foundation of our faith is the name. Yahweh, which means he is or he exists, who the world calls God. Bahashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai, which means he saves or he delivers, who the world calls Jesus, man. Yahweh Bashim Shai in the Paleo Hebrew. All right. That's the name you got to call upon to be saved. Like it says in Acts 4 and 12. There's no name given under heaven where we must be saved. So we gotta understand, man, this is deadly serious. And see, and the time is running out for Jake to get right. Because ultimately what? It's about the elect anyways. Like Romans 11:7 it said, hey, what the election have obtained it, but the rest were blinded. All right, so you about to see this devil coming down having great wrath, seeing he's got for a short time, man. He saw even so-called white man's getting ready to fuck you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans all the way up. Right now he's roughing y'all up, but wait till he starts really reaching for the sword and just slaughtering Jake at a high number. All right, because the deportation thing ain't working fast enough, and it's costing too much. Wait till they just start laying you Jakes out. Okay, as the world grows more evil and wicked, man. You know. But that's it on that. I just don't want to make it too long. So with that, I pray that it was edifying to the elect. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great